What's going on, everybody? It's Alex Wober here, and we are in the Ultimate Long Drive headquarters here in Long, South Carolina. As you can see, I've got a special guest with me, Matt Bowen, a part of Ultimate Long Drive. We're going to go through some drills, some challenges, and we're going to sit down for some rapid-fire questions here at the end. Matt, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you coming out here.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So here we've got a trap bar, and we're going to do some deadlifts. So just talk to us about this first part of the drills here.
Alrighty, yeah, so the trap bar deadlift is going to be one of the best compound movements for golfers overall, looking to just be a little bit stronger and definitely swing that club a little bit faster. Being with Ultimate Long Drive, we know we need that speed. So this being one of the safer compound movements to do when we're pushing that speed. We want to be safe when we're pushing that speed because what happens in the gym needs to translate to the golf course. If we're doing something in the gym that's holding us back from swinging, it's just not something that we're going to keep in our plan. So starting out with that today, we're just going to talk about a little bit of form and show you guys exactly what we need to do.
Sounds great, Matt. Well, go ahead and show us what we're going to do here first, and then I'll go in and jump right in.
Alrighty, sounds good. So the biggest thing with the trap bar deadlift is you usually see deadlifts are with big, strong, heavy lifts, guys trying to get huge, powerful, and really, really strong. So with this, we're trying to be just powerful, a little bit of strength. So what that really means is we're keeping the weight very light and moving it as fast as we possibly can. Anything that's moving real slow, it's making us stronger, but not too much faster. So as far as those reps are gonna look, the weight's gonna be different for every person depending on how long you've been doing this for. If your first time in the gym, there may be even no weight on there at all, getting used to it. So what that's gonna look like is we're gonna go straight down, and obviously we never wanna see that back arching. We're gonna keep a nice flat back. Butt is gonna go straight down, get those legs activated, and boom, shoot straight up. We should never be using any type of weight that's coming up real slow, shaky, off balance. These reps are gonna be super duper quick, boom, explosive, not too much exertion going on there other than explosive power.
Perfect, Matt. I love the emphasis on explosion because that is such a key, especially for me who's new in Ultimate Long Drive. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit, but doing these types of drills are a huge upgrade for those, especially coming into the sport, right, Matt?
Oh, 100%. One of these things kind of that happens when you start doing lighter explosive movements. It's a very uncommon thing to see in the gym. People think, oh, if I'm doing low reps, I'm probably doing really heavy weight. And that does definitely get you stronger. But what we're doing here with that lighter weight, we're teaching your body to kind of push through that governor, move a little bit faster than it knows how to do, and that'll translate right over to the golf swing and should be kind of open your first window of new speed, helping your body be a little bit more explosive.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get into this, Matt.
All right.
I'm not really dressed for this type of occasion
no
today.
problem.
I'm manning the office right now here at the Long Drive headquarters, but based off of what Matt just said, I'm going to take my grip down here on the hex bar.
Yep, feet shoulder width, just a little bit of right about shoulder width apart. That's perfect. We're going to make sure we got a nice straight back, and we'll turn you sideways after we make sure we know what that looks like.
Remember what he said about the back, guys. We don't want our back like this. We don't want to be using just our back. So Matt made an emphasis on exploding through this drill. Is that correct?
Exactly right. So we want to make sure the big thing is going to be getting that butt down, because if we explode with our legs pretty straight, all that stress is going to be on the back, and then you're just going to be doing a regular old, almost a barbell deadlift, which isn't going to help us too much. So the main thing is going to be, once we take that grip, butt's going to go straight down, chest a little bit more upright than a normal deadlift, really engage those legs, shoot straight up.
Fantastic. All right, let's do it.
Let's see what that looks like for you.
All right, let's get those feet shoulder width.
Beautiful. And let's see, one more.
It's not as explosive. Let me do one more. Here we go. That's what he means by explosiveness, people.
Awesome. There we go. That looks great.
All right. Well, I feel like my blood's flowing now, Matt, but that's just the first drill. So take us into what we're going to do next. All right, guys, we are here for drill number 2. Matt, we just did some trap bar exercises. I think I did pretty good for what I'm wearing today, but we got something here that's going to help us with more power. So explain to us what we're going to be doing next.
Yeah, power is going to be the focus, definitely for all of my beginner long drivers out there who are looking to just kind of breach their way into that, getting more powerful into the gym. Next thing is going to be ball slams, something that every gym has. Going to be always, like we talked about, a lightweight. This is just a 4-pound medicine ball right here. Somebody like Alex, he can totally lift 200, 300 pounds. Even though he's plenty strong, we're still going to be going super duper light because all we care about is that power. What's going to create power is moving stuff real fast, as hard as we can, and that's what we're going to do with these ball slams today. So we're going to take a similar setup, feet shoulder width apart for these guys right here. have the ball right down in front of us. I love to think about the ball slam as the golf swing too. So we take a nice wide backswing to really create speed, longer leverages, creates more power, more speed, all that good stuff. So we're going to be fully extended here. We're going to come up nice and slow and boom, slam it right into the floor. Big thing too with a bouncy ball like this, be careful where you're throwing it. Can come back up and hit you in the mouth. That's no fun. So we're going to go straight up nice and slow, boom, straight down. Another thing we can be doing when we're doing that is pushing off as we're throwing, get a little bit of ground force worked into that too to slam even harder. So we're going to come straight up and boom, just like that.
Fantastic, Matt. Thank you for the demonstration. As you just said, this ball can come back and hit you in the face. Now, as a kid, I busted my 2 front teeth. They were black for about 10 years. And I also had braces, so we cannot have that happen for my wallet's sake. Is that right? So
Yes,
we got to go full extension is what you said.
You right.
And then we're going to slam it down as hard as we can.
You got it.
All right, so how's my setup looking here, Matt? Looking
That's
pretty
looking
good?
just fine as long as you feel comfortable and balanced.
So, all right, here we go. Here's the first one. So extend back.
And there we go. Boom. Give me 3 more of those. And boom. Beautiful.
Oh, wow. That was good, Matt. I appreciate that.
That looked great. So the main thing with this one, just like we talked about with the trap bar deadlift, super explosive, lightweight. If you're having a medicine ball that you've got to lug over, you're not going to be able to slam that as hard as you possibly can. Biggest thing that's always going to be with these drills getting started as a long driver is maximum power. Because we're not coming out on the grid to do anything slower than maximum speed. Sometimes if you just need to find one out in the grid, you might be cruising, but somebody puts one past you, you know you got to go fast.
Sounds great, Matt. Well, let's hop into the next drill. Catch us on the other side. What's happening, everybody? We are back for drill number 3. We've done the trap bar. We've done ball slams. Matt, you've got the kettlebell here, and we're going to be doing some drills with that. Kind of explain to us the benefit of this and what we're going to be doing.
All right. So if you guys were to only do one golf exercise for the rest of your life, this is going to be one of my top choices, kettlebell swings. Kettlebell is just going to be an amazing tool for getting stronger in the golf swing. And I'm just going to give you a quick run through of what those kettlebell swings should look like. So it's going to be very similar feel to the deadlift as far as setup goes. Feet right around shoulder width apart. We're going to be hinging right at that hip low back area to a nice, comfortable, strong position. Using lightweight to be explosive. That's going to be the big thing for these golf exercises. Lightweight, really being explosive when we're doing these. So we're going to start kettlebell right around the knees, and the thing that's moving this kettlebell is going to be our low body. So the fact that we're locking out our knees and our hips, driving everything forward and up, is moving this kettlebell. I am not lifting this with my arms one bit. I am just shooting it up with my legs and my glutes here. So arms are ropes, just along for the ride, and your legs and your glutes are driving this kettlebell up. All right, let's see Alex do a few.
Fantastic. I'll try not to rip my pants. So we got this 15-pound kettlebell here. You told me to get in a comfortable position. That correct?
Yeah, and we're going to do it all similar to the deadlift. Back's going to be straight. We're going to hinge at the knees and the hips and just make sure we're in a nice, powerful, explosive position.
All right, comfortable position. Keep my back straight. Use my legs.
Beautiful. Really driving those feet into the floor. Hips are coming forward, using those glutes to drive forward, just like that deadlift, and just being super explosive, shooting that kettlebell up. Beautiful. And one more. Perfect.
All right.
That looks great.
Matt, that was awesome.
Great job, man.
Appreciate that. What's going on, everybody? We are back here for some rapid fire questions. Matt, I'm going to go through these. You're going to give me your answers. You have not seen these questions yet, but go ahead and just try your best to answer them, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, let's jump right into it. So what is your highest recorded swing speed?
Fastest I've ever swung the club was actually standing right here for the league championship last year for Coastal Carolina, 147 mile an hour club speed.
My gosh, I probably missed that because I was taking photos of all of you guys, but I wish I would have saw that because that sounds amazing. I can't wait to see you beat that in the future.
Oh, you know it.
Longest drive in competition, how far was that?
That was last year's Winter Series up in Pennsylvania. Had one 394 in the finals to take the win.
394. That's something that only happens in my dreams, people, by the way. We'll get there someday.
Oh, not far away.
So your favorite driver brand or model? I have a feeling I know the answer to this.
Oh, yeah. Shark Attack Golf through and through. I've tried everything on the market. Shark Attack Golf has given me every single PR, longest drive, fastest, every single time. Most consistent clubs I've ever swung, and that's what's always going to be in my hand.
In fact, my newest addition to my bag is a Shark Attack Golf long driver.
Oh, beautiful.
So
So you're ready to get faster
I'm
then.
ready. I'm with you on the brand right there, and I'm loving it so far.
Hmm.
So go ahead and tell me what your go-to pump up song is before competition.
Pump up songs, always gonna be Project Pat. Love Project Pat. I'll say We Can Get Gangster by Project Pat. That's a go-to for me.
You can't go wrong with Project Pat.
Mhm. You know it.
I know that. Biggest mistake amateurs make when they're trying to hit it long.
I'd definitely say over swinging. Big thing with long drive is staying within yourself. You gotta swing full gas, but it's definitely got to be a gas pedal that you can control. So a lot of the newer guys will get up to the grid and be like, "I really got to kill it now," and they'll start swinging. I'll say out of their means, out of themselves. So definitely staying within yourself, swing controlled, but still as fast as you can.
You know, one thing, I actually was one of those amateurs at the recent World Championship trying to swing out of my shoes.
You know it.
Big stage, the lights were shining. I even got to hit at nighttime. You got to see that, and oh my gosh, I did not do so well. But
Yeah, I did the
that's
same
definitely a
exact
mistake I
thing.
made.
Yeah, I did the same thing right there with you. The crowd got to me, and I just was like, I need to blow one past everybody, and they were going right. So that's no good.
We also competed in a hurricane, but
Hmm.
we don't
Oh,
like to
no
make
excuses.
excuses.
No
Right, no
excuses. You
excuses.
throw whatever weather you want. We're still going to hit bombs.
Speaking of weather, what is the craziest weather condition you've competed in?
So other than Hurricane Helene, over at World Championships last year, it's craziest weather we did one day at the Gauntlet. It was, I believe, February or March. We were hitting in like 38 degrees. It was raining. Wind was still blowing, and we said, and Kevin asked us, we said, "Hey, you guys want to shut it down?" We said, "No, we're still hitting." So we hit into it anyway. I think the longest drive of the day was maybe like barely over 300 yards, but we still had a blast.
That's persistence right there.
Hmm.
What's harder, hitting it long or keeping it straight?
Definitely keeping it straight. Anybody can hit a long slice or a long cut, a long hook, draw. Keeping it in between those lines is what makes the sport what it is.
I figured that would be the answer coming from the long driver, and I can attest to that too as a new golfer. I have to hit it straight, that's for sure. One word to describe long drive competition.
Intense. Definitely intense. If
Perfect.
you, every level, no matter how good or how not good the competitor is, when that ball is going on the tee, almost everybody's hands shaking. And if your hand's not shaking, that means something's probably wrong.
I needed to wear like 4 gloves at the World Championship. I
Hmm.
thought I was gonna sweat through my clothes. I mean, you just have that internal feeling that okay, everybody's watching you. Now's the time to shine, and you put this amount of pressure on yourself that
Hmm.
sometimes it's hard to overcome.
You know it.
Who is your biggest competitor right now?
I'd say myself. The only person stopping me from achieving my goals is going to be me. I just got to get out of my head, swing my swing. I know I can keep it up with almost anybody out there. So as long as I can do what I know I can do best, stay out of my way, not think those stupid thoughts, we can get it done.
Amen to that. Favorite meal after crushing a long drive competition?
I mean, it's usually going to be, we're always driving pretty far, so it's whatever fast food's closest. But if it was up to me, I'd probably say a big quesadilla from Moe's Southwest Grill.
Ooh,
Hmm.
man, now I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch today either, so if we had a Moe's nearby, that'd be what I would be getting for lunch today.
Hmm.
What's the most embarrassing thing to happen, maybe to you or what you have seen at a competition?
Oh, I can definitely say for me. It was when I was competing as an amateur, I think in 2022, was living in Richmond at the time, had an event in Fredericksburg. My pup ended up having an accident and laying down in it. So he needed a bath right away, get all that crap out of his hair. I thought I had enough time to get to the event. I ended up not even seeing the first half of the event, pulling up a minute before I had to hit. So I literally stepped out of the car, threw my bag down, picked up a driver, and had to hit. And that was definitely the worst set of my life.
I can't imagine. My
Hmm.
family has dogs, my sister has dogs, and I'm sure that they've had to go through something like that before.
Hmm.
If you weren't a long driver, what sport would you be playing or have as a hobby?
I'd be playing baseball still. I was always a pitcher, and that's something that definitely translated well over to long drive. But I'd hopefully be pitching somewhere, playing some high
We're
level
gonna have to
baseball.
talk about that in the future. I'm now interested because usually you expect somebody to say that when they're like a power hitter in baseball, or a DH or a third baseman or something like that. But you said you were a pitcher, so I'm
Hmm.
interested to hear about that. We'll have to get into that another time. But have you ever tried hitting with a right-handed driver?
Yeah, I'll work on some trick shots. I could throw one up here on the simulator. I've got a little right-handed driver in the bag with me. We can get a right-handed driver over 300 yards.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. I might have to hold you to
Sure.
that. What's the one piece of advice you wish you had earlier in your long drive career?
Um, I'd say it's definitely going to be, man, one piece of advice is stay within yourself. The overswinging thing really has killed me a lot of competitions where I know I'm prepared and then I just go in and don't even stick to the game plan and try to swing out of my shoes completely and everything falls apart. So really staying within myself is going to be the main thing.
I'm going to take that advice too,
And please
especially what
do.
I just told you happened to
That's
me
the
in the
main
World
thing I pass on.
Championships.
Hmm.
How many golf balls would you say you go through in a practice session?
So it really depends. If it's kind of an off day technique stuff, we're not really pushing speed. It can be anywhere from 50 to 75 balls. If it's a real long speed session, we can get upwards of 300 balls.
My arms would be not even able to move. I wouldn't be able to drive home that if I did 300 practice balls today.
Hmm.
So I don't know how you're doing that. That is impressive stuff. Last question for you. Okay. Driver shaft, stiff, extra stiff, or something custom?
I'm just going to say yes. I've got all those things in the bag. We've got different setups for different situations. So if we have a super windy day, let's say crazy downwind, I'll have a stiffer setup in the bag to keep it super duper low spin. I'll have my speed demon setup, I like to call it, the whippiest shaft, like the UAP shafts from Shark Attack. Super duper light, a lot of flex to them. That's the fastest potential thing for me, what I've set my record with right in here as well. So I've got stiff, regular, senior ladies, everything you could think of.
Fantastic. Well, Matt, that does it for our rapid fire session. I just want to thank you for coming in today, teaching me some of these exercises and drills to get better and progress in my long drive career. Anything you want to tell to the people before you head out?
Yeah, as far as the exercise stuff goes, TPI certified instructor as well as a ULD Mach 3 speed instructor. So anybody that wants to get faster, hit it a little farther. You may know me as Bobo Sauce Golf on Instagram and TikTok. Please shoot me a message on there. I write speed plans, workout plans, and then I've got just baseline plans for golfers. People are just looking to get started, get a little bit stronger and faster.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here first, guys. Go check him out on social media. Hit him up. Matt, thank you so much for coming.
It was a pleasure.
Pleasure as well. We'll see you next time, long drivers.